Senator Fierravanti-Wells.
Deputy President, tonight I rise to pay tribute to a lady well known to many in the Liberal Party in New South Wales, Gloria Martin, who passed away on 7 September at the age of 92 years. I was fortunate to see Gloria the day before she passed. I took her hand and said, "Gloria, it's Connie." A movement of her hand told me she had recognised me. I was glad to be able to have said goodbye to a woman who had been one of my most loyal supporters. I first met Gloria in the early 1990s when I joined the Liberal Party. As former Prime Minister John Howard said at her funeral, "There'll never be another Gloria." In delivering the eulogy to Gloria entitled "My Party, My Country," Janice Photius started with these words: "Gloria Martin, a woman of strong beliefs, convictions and moral fortitude, was characteristically defined by her passionate love and fierce loyalty to her Liberal Party and her country, Australia. A woman of inner strength and dignity, Gloria had an energy and a zest for life which left others half her age in her wake, and her love of country was infectious and her loyalty to others unsurpassed." Janice aptly described Gloria as a pint-sized pocket rocket. That she was. All of 4'9". Gloria didn't pull any punches when she was having a go at someone. As Janice said, she stood by her principles no matter what others thought. She wore her heart on her sleeve and called a spade a spade. Gloria Harriet Evelyn Martin was born in Cairns, Queensland, the only daughter of Evelyn Early Martin and George Morris Martin, on 19 March 1927. She was the youngest of 3 children, having 2 older brothers. Later, the family moved to Townsville, where Gloria spent her formative years. When Gloria was just 10, her mother died. Her brother Geoffrey and his wife took Gloria in, sadly, after her father had abandoned her. At 18 years of age, Gloria caught a bus to Sydney, boarded in Parramatta and found herself a job. She gained employment at Le Tournay Westinghouse in Rydalmere, an American manufacturer of heavy-duty earth-moving equipment, where she spent the bulk of her professional career as a bookkeeper and secretary to the accountant. She was a hard worker and became a very well-respected employee. In 1950, she married Sydney Martin, didn't have to change all the paperwork, whom she had met at a dance at the Masonic Centre in Eastwood. He was handsome and dashing, and it was reputedly love at first sight. They married in St Albans Church, Epping, the same church where Gloria's funeral was held on 27 September. They were married for 47 years until Sid passed away in 1997. After her retirement from Westinghouse, Gloria became a self-employed businesswoman. With her flair for decorating and gift wrapping, she started a card and gift shop in West Ryde, which she owned and operated for 17 years. In 1987, Gloria joined the Liberal Party after she met Stella Wilson, a matriarch of the party in the area. Gloria eventually became secretary of the Eastwood South branch in 2001. She served as secretary for the Bennelong Conference for 12 years. For over a decade, she worked as a volunteer in the office of John Howard, doing whatever task needed to be done. Indeed, Mr Howard said at the funeral, "I didn't have a more loyal, energetic, conscientious Liberal Party supporter in my electorate branch, as in Gloria Martin." She was a keen fundraiser. Her events were always well attended. She had an ability to extract raffle prizes from businesses. It was very difficult to say no to Gloria. All those prizes and gifts were beautifully wrapped and presented to the winners. Gloria was an avid letter writer. Notwithstanding she had little formal education, she had a sharp mind and a great memory. She argued her point forcefully. She was very well informed. Her letters were handwritten compositions of beautiful copperplate handwriting. She also made handwritten copies for her records. The last letter I got from Gloria was dated the 20th of March this year. I had sent Gloria flowers on her birthday, and whilst the letter was to thank me, it was a good opportunity to put forward her thoughts on issues she was concerned about. She wrote, "I must congratulate your staff. They passed my message on for you to ring me, and you did, which I appreciated. Very rare these days, I can assure you. The inefficiency in all the offices these days is most annoying. Phone calls are not returned. They cannot answer a letter. If lucky, it's from a staffer and full of nonsense and makes no sense." I wrote to one state politician in January 2018, rang his office for 5 months without success. As you know, I only want to help the Liberal people for the best interests of the state and federal and my country, being a proud Australian. But at all times, it is not easy, believe me." Unquote. Gloria was a tireless worker. Despite her age and some physical constraints, she was determined to carry on as long as she could. As Janice told us at the funeral, the country needed her. Someone had to keep these politicians on both sides on their toes. To the very end, she loved, respected, worked tirelessly and fought for the Liberal Party and for Australia. Former Prime Minister Howard summarised Gloria when he said, "There'll never be somebody who could quite capture that simple, direct, often beguiling, but never bewildered personality, who understood what she believed in, believed what was right for Australia, and was absolutely determined to ensure that anybody she could influence never strayed from the straight and narrow path." Once you were seen as having a little bit of influence in the community or in a Liberal Party branch or in any organisation that you were associated with, Gloria Martin made absolutely certain that you remained in her gun sights, and pity help you if you got out of line or left the reservation. You would get initially a letter, then you'd get a few phone calls, and then if that failed, you'd get sort of a shout during a phone call to the Alan Jones or Ray Hadley show. That was the sort of three-pronged attack from which Gloria was absolutely famous, unquote. On another occasion, the thank you note to me was the opportunity to include the following. "P.S. Connie, get rid of 18C, no same-sex marriage, and tell Nick Xenophon to pull his head in." Classic Gloria. She was an avid listener of 2GB, a keen contributor and a regular talkback caller. The radio was always on in case she needed to call in to counter some political point that was being made. She was direct and to the point. She spoke articulately and with conviction. It was a testimony to her standing in the party that the pallbearers included New South Wales Minister for Counter-Terrorism and Corrections and Member for Lane Cove, the Honourable Anthony Roberts, and Member for Wallandilly, Nathaniel Smith. Of course, at the funeral we sang God Save the Queen. A staunch monarchist, she was a woman of conservative views and tradition. She was also a woman of faith. As Janice mentioned in the eulogy, Gloria asked her visitors to Ryde Hospital to pray for her. Gloria had 3 loves in her life: her husband Sid, her country and the Liberal Party. Her commitment to all 3 were the guiding forces of her life. I know I speak for many people in the Liberal Party, and most especially in the Ryde-Bennelong area, in paying respect to Gloria Martin for her contribution to her country and her party. Can I, in closing, acknowledge the friendship and support given to Gloria by Mike Benke and Robert Dewick, the co-executors of her estate and their respective families. Her funeral was attended by former Prime Minister John Howard and Mrs Jeanette Howard, by members of state and federal parliaments, by party officials and by many in the Liberal family. This was a testament to the respect with which Gloria was held by so many. We remembered her as the feisty and very direct pocket rocket who always spoke her mind. She will be well remembered by many in the Liberal Party. Vale Gloria Harriet Evelyn Martin.